recap. This is the first Friday recap I am doing on my social media outputs, outputs rather. I'm on YouTube TV. Please follow at Mr. Matt Houston. You can also find me on social on at Mr. Matt Houston on Instagram, Twitter, and on Clubhouse. Today, I didn't want to take too much of your time. I just wanted to have a quick recap. There's a lot that's happened this week. We celebrated Martin Luther King's holiday on Monday. It was a little different because this is our first time experiencing MLK, a season where we typically as a country celebrate the service, a community service of the passion and the initiatives and strategy that Martin Luther King has provided for the nonviolent movement. But I wanted to purposely wear this shirt. This is definitely Malcolm X. This is not Martin Luther King. But I had a debate earlier today. I said Martin Luther King was more revolutionary than Malcolm X. And the reason why I said that is because Malcolm X, at one point of his time, when he was very, very, very engaged with the Nation of Islam, he preached a reactionary type, by any means necessary, which is very strong, and in that sense is revolutionary. But the fact that Dr. Martin Luther King practiced nonviolence and pretty much wanted to create systems to change policies, not only in civil rights, but also in equal workforce and unity all over, non-discrimination based on not only the color of your skin, not only the content of your character, but also the belief systems that you have. And that's very significant. One, coming from a Southern Baptist preacher, which is a very, very, very conservative type of viewpoint. But two, thinking of others while the racial issues was the most prevalent, right? And that's something that people in our generation today don't realize, that there are multiple people fighting, multiple belief systems, multiple colors of people were fighting together in unity. And non-violently, by the way, so that we can have a better today, which is 2021. I believe Dr. Martin Luther King will be very disappointed in us, and in fact, especially after January 6th, but in general, because we are not effectively living the legacy that he, Coretta Scott King, and his family want for us. We need to, if we want to actively change, we have to actively, one, be informed, two, actively communicate and build relationships, so that three, we can actively make change. Not only change in our belief system, which is traditionally what is the first to be morphed, but also changing in laws, rules, policies, so that in case the individual changes their mind and want to revert back to what they're most comfortable in, there's a law, there's a body, there's a piece of paper. There are things that we all agree and abide by to say, no, you can't revert back. You have to move forward. I think in America, we're doing that. There were strategies in the last 50 years to revert things back to where historically disenfranchised members of society, women, people of non-Christian Christianity beliefs in America, etc., are losing a bit of their freedoms. And so we have to ensure that we continue to encourage openness and well-being of people while maintaining a solid republic, right? And you can only do that by being truthful, being an amazing radical leader as Dr. Martin Luther King was. Brittany, I know you have to leave, but thank you. Thanks for stopping by. Kimberly Young, hey, how you doing? Long time. And Raquel, How are you doing? It's great to thank you all for joining me. I just want to do a Friday recap. My goal is to do this every Friday for 5 to 10 minutes. Like as we said, this is MLK week it's this week. We had MLK Day on Monday. We had our inauguration on Wednesday, in which things, thank God, turned out smoothly. Better than I expected, to be honest with you. And so, of course, it was an amazing ceremony. I've already talked about that. Please feel free to take a look at my previous video on that. But all in all, it was astonishing to see the transitional powers. Let's just leave it at that. One thing I do want to talk about is the beginning of semester. I know this week also marked the beginning of the spring semester at UNT Dallas, the University of North Texas at Dallas, in which where I teach. And so I want to thank all of my students for their excitement this week. I noticed the fatigue. It's frustrating for teachers and for students to do a 100% virtual curriculum or course when you prefer face-to-face or a hybrid approach. And classes like entrepreneurship and leadership, in which I teach, is built heavily on building a rapport with the students. And so last semester in the fall, I really felt bad and really just was more frustrated at the current situation. But this semester, I am making it a point to engage, interact with students. And I think that that's an important principle going into 2021, at least for the rest of this year. We're not going to be socializing in mass anytime soon. So let's get ready. Let's get used to Zoom. Let's unplug when we can. It's really important for us to create time, life balance, work-life balance. And we have to be deliberate at this point now because we can work at home all day. I've caught myself working until midnight, 1 a.m. in this same space. And that's not necessarily beneficial for my well-being or my family. So I want to thank you all for joining me. I want to thank you for listening to me on these 10, 15 minutes. I want to do this every Friday. Please feel free to reach out to me in the interim. You can reach out to me using my social media handles at Mr. Matt Houston. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, or Clubhouse. You can also find me on YouTube TV. I want you all to have a great weekend. I want you to stay safe, and I want you to get rest so that we can tackle next week vigorously. Thank you, and have a good one.